Welcome to Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw. I'm a transformational coach. I'm also the founder of Embody Me program and the creator of 21 Minutes of Morning Magic. You may also find me on the yoga mat leading yoga sessions and also running retreats here in Australia and internationally. Here on the podcast, I bring you some pretty incredible guests. We talk all things self-belief, body acceptance, personal development, outdated beauty standards, and we also call BS on the toxic diet culture, accepting the beautiful bodies we were born into, letting go of all the beliefs, and raising our self-awareness. I also come to you from time to time with a little solo episode, a little Life According to Emma moment. I'm so glad you're here. Enjoy. Hello and welcome to Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw. I want to take a little minute and say thanks so much for listening. Thanks for choosing to listen to this podcast. I know there are hundreds of podcasts you could be listening to right now, but you've chosen to put me into your ears. So today I hope to bring you some value and some tips and tools. That's what this podcast is going to be about. But I want to let you know where I am and what's happening in Emma's world right now. So I am living in the gorgeous little location, Coolangatta, temporarily at the moment while we renovate our house. So Coolangatta, I've lived here over the past 25 years, I've lived here quite a few times. So Coolangatta to me is this gorgeous little seaside village. And yes, it's part of the Gold Coast, but it's actually the most southern town or suburb of the Gold Coast. Coolangatta is in Queensland, but if you step across the road, you enter into New South Wales and you're in Tweed Heads. And Tweed Heads runs to a little bit of a different time schedule in daylight savings. It's 1 hour behind, or is it in front? See, 1 hour totally messes with me. So thankfully we're not in daylight savings at the moment. Otherwise I get myself in all kinds of pickles because sometimes your mobile phone, if you're close to the border, will keep switching from 1 hour later, 1 hour earlier. So it really is quite challenging. However, it is a gorgeous little location. So yes, Brendan and I, me and Husboss and I are embarking on the renovation journey of the house, of the family home. So we're doing kitchen, 2 bathrooms, laundry, walk-in wardrobe, inside, outside, moving the front door, getting another back door. It's all systems go. So we couldn't quite live in the house and embark on that experience. So we've taken this beautiful opportunity to come to Coolangatta. And I must say, it's a funny thing that happens when you shift the energy in your life. So coming to Coolangatta, I had been having a little bit of a struggle getting my 10,000 steps up. Like I found at home, I potentially was getting a little bit chained to my desk and not getting my steps in. Here, now what is it? I think it's like 1 o'clock and I'm already at 9,300 steps, which is wonderful. So living right by the beach, it's such a beautiful enticement to step out into Mother Nature. Even though I live in a gorgeous location, our home's in a beautiful location, I've just found this fresh energy is wonderful for my well-being, could we say? Today, I wanted to talk though about the wheel of self-love. I've added a PDF in the show notes that's going to help with the Wheel of Love process that I'm about to talk through because it's great to have a visual. Check out the show notes and you'll be able to see this link. Now, you might have had some life coaching in your time. You might know about this or you might not. So the Wheel of Life is a traditional tool used that is showing all different areas of your life and then potentially looking at where you need to put some love and attention. So I love the Wheel of Life, but I took it a little step further and I created a little wheel of self-love. Now I do want to explain the notion self-love Because I know that I recently was on a podcast, actually. I was a guest on a podcast. And before we went live, the host said to me, look, Em, I know that you're really big on self-love, but I actually don't believe in it. She said, I just feel like self-love, like who really loves themselves? It's a bit of, baloney to me. And I said, yep, good call, fair call. Because if you are in a place where you are really quite self-loathing and you're really not happy with perhaps your appearance or where you're at in life, maybe some things in life aren't quite going your way, and the sheer thought of loving yourself is just like as if I'm so far from that, it's never going to happen. So I'll often say that, the bridge between self-love and self-loathing is self-respect. And even if I just give the example of me getting my steps up at the moment, that doesn't mean I love myself, but it means I respect myself enough to get out and move my body. Let's say that's a really simple example. Or thinking about self-respect or respect, even just in a word. When we respect someone or something, we really don't then abuse it, take it for granted, beat up on it, speak horribly to it. So I want to bring your attention to this wheel of self-love and let you know what the components, if we were to even make a step towards loving ourselves, what are the areas or almost like the little subheadings below potentially moving towards a relationship with yourself where it is closer to self-respect or it is closer to feeling that you are worthy. So the first thing I want to talk about in this wheel of self-love is self-belief. So a component of self-belief, or if we want to even say the wheel of self-respect or the wheel of love, self-belief, in my opinion, is a great title to explore. So believing in yourself. So we all know that beliefs can hinder you or help you. I also love the saying that it's beautiful, Esther Hicks. She says, a belief is a thought you keep thinking. That's all it is. A belief is a thought you keep thinking. So in actual fact, you can look at a dress and it can be blue and you can say, no, that's a red dress. So you could change your belief that you don't believe it's blue anymore. You believe it's red. And we've probably all had that situation. Actually, I was with a friend the other day. I said, oh, that's such a beautiful dress. What an unusual gray. And she said, no, it's green. It's just a belief. I believed it was gray. She believed it was green. It didn't really matter. But that's when we explore this belief. What do I actually believe about myself? So there's going to be helpful beliefs like, I believe that I'm actually strong and I believe that I will figure anything out. I also believe that I have what it takes to reach my goals. An unhelpful belief could be, I'm actually weak and I've never been that kind of person that has strength. I'm really flaky. Or maybe the belief is, I actually don't know if I have what it takes. So sometimes our beliefs can be a thought that we keep thinking. So I want you to think about this. What beliefs have you got that are helpful or unhelpful? The next thing in our wheel of self-love is moving your energy. So I don't necessarily mean moving your body, although it's great. It is great to move the energy. That's a great way. But moving your energy can be just in subtle ways. Hence, I have moved locations, which has moved my energy. You can sometimes move some things around in your house to move the energy. The other great thing in this beautiful wheel of self-love, which I have just experienced in a really great way, is decluttering. When we declutter, we move the energy, we shift the energy. How good is it when you even just do like your linen press and then I don't know about you, but I know that then I just keep walking past it and opening it. I've moved the energy. I feel really good about that. And then it's almost like then the cascading happens because it's a knock-on effect. You'll declutter one thing, you'll move the energy in one area of your life and then you can't help but then carry on and move the energy now because it feels really good and you've got momentum. The other thing in our wheel of self-love is growth. So growth for me, and I'm sure it could be similar to you, but this love of learning and growing, getting around people who are like-minded or have a different point of view is a really great place for growth. I find I have some growths chatting with my two children who are in their, one's 19, one's 22, so in their early part of adult. They allow me to grow because they come with different perspectives. I love that. Also, a great book is awesome for growth. If you like to read any books on any topic that you love, is great for growth. The next thing in our wheel of self-love is nourishment. So again, for me, nourishment, it can be what I put in my mouth, absolutely. But also nourishing for me too is, again, the information I'm taking in, the people I'm surrounding myself with. How am I nourishing myself? Perhaps it's sitting in the sun. Maybe it is getting out in the fresh air. Maybe nourishing me lately has been disconnecting from my device. Or devices, I should say. My computer, my iPad, and my laptop. That has been very nourishing for me. Sleep is another way to nourish yourself. How is your sleep? So thinking about that. Then we look at the next beautiful part of our wheel of self-love, or our on the way to self-respect. And it's our intuition. Do you listen to your intuition? Do you know how to tune into your intuition? I'm on week 5 of the Embody Me program, the beautiful program that I deliver, and it's group coaching as well as one-on-one coaching. We have done a lot around our intuition. I love in Embody Me program, I share some really great tools how actually to work with your intuition, how to trust your intuition and hone it. The other thing that I do have available to you, if you are keen, come and join me for 21 minutes of morning magic. The sheer fact of spending 21 minutes in the morning with yourself on the mat, a little bit of movement, some flowetry, which is like journaling, and some meditation will raise your intuition, because sometimes we need to stop the traffic, stop all the external output and bring it in. So listening to your own intuition requires you to disconnect from all of the things that pull your attention in every different direction. Your voice of wisdom is loud and it is strong. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast if it wasn't, because that's the kind of, if you're this, you are this kind of person, because this interests you. This is one of your interests. So your intuition and your voice of wisdom are one and of the same. So listening to your intuition is a practice, and it is sometimes a conscious practice. It's almost like training for any marathon or any physical thing. Your intuition's like that. It's like building a muscle, like taking it to the gym and building a muscle. This is what your intuition is. And the more that you acknowledge it and work at it, or work on it, work with it, it delivers to you. So that's a little bit about your intuition. The other thing I will say about your intuition, how do you know it's your intuition? Your intuition often gives you a next step. So it might be something like you get that little thought, you've all had this, or a feeling, pick up the phone and call so-and-so. And you don't even think much about it. You just do it. You ring and they go, oh my gosh, I was just thinking of you. And they give you a piece of information. That is intuition giving you a next step. Pick up the phone. Sometimes the intuition gives you the next step, which is stop, don't go, don't do it. Sometimes that's the message. And we've all had that experience where we've gone and overridden our intuition and we've done it. And then we go, I knew that had happened. I knew I shouldn't have done that. That was when you didn't listen to your intuition. So that's the other part of our wheel of self-love. The other part of our wheel of self-love is self-talk. Oh my goodness. This has probably been one of my biggest Achilles heels my whole entire life, is my self-talk, and me having to really spend time consciously rewriting my beliefs about myself, and a little bit back to like self-belief and self-talk. So those two can work beautifully together. So changing what you believe about yourself, or changing the old story, what you've said to yourself, through the words that you use about yourself. So I love the saying that I am are two incredibly powerful words. However, the most powerful word is what you put after you say, I am. So what are we saying in our self-talk? What are we saying? I am. Oh, I'm so silly. Or are we saying, oh, I am smart enough and I will figure this out. I am moving towards my goals. I am courageous. I am in a beautiful state of flow and I always know what to do next when it arrives. So what is your I am statement? The next one is contentment. Contentment for me is in the same basket as appreciation and gratitude. So acknowledging that I am content. So it is almost like gratitude and appreciation in the sense that acknowledging that right here, right now, nothing is broken and nothing is wrong. I have everything I need. I am incredibly blessed living in a wonderful country. Things are always going well for me and I'm really content with where I'm at. And contentment also, you can add on and say, I'm really happy with where I'm at and I'm also really excited about the future. But acknowledging that you are safe and well and what you have created to this point in your life is wonderful. So contentment is a beautiful feeling, I believe, and it's very in line with the wheel of self-love or the wheel of self-respect. So when it comes to our perception of our body, it is okay to desire to be in a smaller body. I still grapple with this, even though I love to say, yep, I am really content with where I'm at. I also will acknowledge that I know that I'm in flux and flow and potentially would love to work on my steps at the moment. Is it for weight loss? Is it to be in a smaller body? No, it's not. But I'd be okay with that byproduct of it too. So acknowledging that contentment isn't saying that I'm settling and I can just let myself go. Well, I'll just be content. It's saying that I'm actually grateful and appreciative where I'm at. And I also know I'm in flux and flow and moving forward too. Everything is fluid. The next one is, of course, self-respect. And I believe self-respect, self-love really is hand in hand. And self-respect can show up in so many different ways in our life. You know, self-respect can be, I choose not to speak badly about myself. Self-respect is I choose to be with people that support me and look out for me. Self-respect can be in the sheer form of how you take care of your personal dressing. I love, I think you all know this. I love a good little fashion session. I've had a couple of women on the podcast talking about fashion. So self-respect is, putting beautiful clothes on. I love lipstick. I love hair. So it's, self-respect is also, taking that time to groom yourself in a way, if that makes you feel good. I mean, for you, self-respect could be a really good pair of activewear tights, spending money on beautiful activewear. But that's that self-respect going, I really love to wear beautiful clothes. So self-respect for you, whatever that is. So now I want to ask you, out of 10, how would you mark yourself in self-belief? So between 1 to 10, what do you give yourself for self-belief? Moving your energy right now, how would you mark yourself 1 to 10 out of 10? And 10 being, I should have said, 10 being absolutely amazing, off the Richter scale, amazeballs, and 1 being it's absolutely debacle, it's terrible. So how would you mark yourself for self-belief out of 10? Moving your energy, your growth, how are you nourishing yourself out of 10? Your intuition, how much are you listening to yourself out of 10? Where's your self-talk out of 10? How content are you? If you were to give yourself a number here, 10 being amazing, incredibly content, couldn't get any better, to 1, it's absolutely horrific. I'm so dissatisfied and ungrateful right now. And then self-respect, how do you feel like you're respecting yourself out of 10? Now, hopefully you're not driving. You've been able to write these things down and give yourself a number. I want you now to look at anything that fell below a 7. And if you didn't have anything fall below a 7, you can stop this podcast right now and get on with your bloody day. No, I'm only joking. No. So those of you who didn't have anything fall below a 7, well done. Good on you. That means you are absolutely on the path to self-love and self-respect, and that's a beautiful thing. And of course, on any given day, we can feel differently about this too. So anyone who did have things fall below a 7, I'd like you to write them down. So let's say if self-talk was only a 5 for you, I'd like you, and maybe you had growth that was also below. I want you just to make a little bit of a note, and I want you just to, what fell below a 7, and then I'd like you to choose just one to work on this week, just one to put some love and attention to. And let's say it was self-talk. Let's say self-talk for you is only a 5 and you are thinking, yeah, that's what I'm actually going to work on this week. So I want you to think about your self-talk, and I want you to imagine as you move through the week that every time you speak to yourself in an unkind way, I want you to visualize yourself as a little person, just a little person that's around 4 years old. And maybe you can right now see a photo or a memory of what you looked like at 4. And I'd like you to look at that little person and think, would I say what I'm just saying to myself now, my self-talk, would I say that to her or to him? Would I say that? And you probably wouldn't. So then you're going to apologize. And there's a really, really simple little prayer that you might have heard, the Ho'oponopono. So each time you say something a little unkind to yourself, self-talk, stop and acknowledge it and go, oh, that wasn't very kind. And then there's four simple lines that you can say to yourself. And the Ho'oponopono prayer goes like this. You can stop, visualize that beautiful 4-year-old and say to yourself, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And even if you can put your hand on your heart right now, close down your eyes if you're not driving. Take a breath, inhale and an exhale. And say to yourself, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Take another breath. Inhale and an exhale. So that could be helpful, just easing that self-talk. And I also think self-belief might come into self-talk a little bit too. So perhaps using that same little prayer, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. It's also really helpful to say that prayer sometimes when we've got a little bit of a negative charge or a bit of negative energy with someone. Sometimes it can be helpful just to silently say that prayer to them, to yourself first and then to them. Could be helpful. So there, my darlings, is the wheel of self-love or the wheel of self-respect, whatever feels comfortable for you to say. But there is some little areas that hopefully are helpful for you, and perhaps you've got a little focus for the week. This is very much a part of our Embody Me program that I deliver, which will be happening again in June. But the other exciting thing I needed to tell you all, India, March 2025 is out. So only today I've just sent the email. Only literally, I think 30 minutes ago, I've sent the email to the wait list. So it'll be open to everybody on Friday. My wait list ladies get first dibs because they've all been waiting. And then hopefully there's some spots left. I'm sure there will be, but I've got my beautiful wait list there that are going to be hopefully joining Yogi Louie and I in India in March 2025. So Yogi Louie and I, those who don't know, took a group of 11 women in March this year, 2024. And I've got to say, it took me probably a week to come off a high. I've just been on I was on such a high when we got home from India. And if you haven't listened to the podcast, Yogi Louie and I in India, also there's a podcast of Emily and I, beautiful Emily Summers, who was one of the guests on our retreat. We actually did a podcast while in India. So if you are intrigued about journeying to India and joining us for 10 incredible nights and 11 days, check out the link. The link will be in the show notes. Thank you again for joining me this week on Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm always open to DMs on Instagram or also a hit reply to this email. I would love to hear perhaps the area of life that you're working on this week and how you went with your wheel of self-love. Thanks, everybody. Go forth and have an absolutely incredible evening, morning, day, whatever it is for you. Thanks so much. Wholehearted Retreat, March 2025, India. Yes, that's right. Yogi Louie and I are hosting again next year. India is just too incredible for us not to return and take more of you beautiful women with us. If this intrigues you, if you feel excited or you want to know more, please reach out. The waitlist is growing and we are about to launch all of the details for next year, the dates, the price, the time, what's included, what's not. So if you want to know more information, please reach out. There's an email in the show notes, teamwalkinshaw@gmail.com, or DM me on Instagram and I can answer any of your questions. I look forward to chatting soon.